out. I'll read the preamble for you this morning. My name is Liz Kukla. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and I'm going to read the preamble for you this morning, April 11th, 2022. In compliance with notification requirements of the city's open meeting law in section 101.021 of the Codified Ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Please note that call-in users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activity is being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We've provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on a particular case via our website and email. All requests to speak on a particular matter have been considered. We've also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Go ahead, call the roll.
Ms. Barnes?
Ms. Barnes, yes, here.
Ms. Faith?
Present.
Ms. Brown?
Present.
Ms. Britt?
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum. I don't believe we do not have any postponements or withdrawals. So back to you.
Okay. All right. So who's here for what case? Who do we have today?
It looks like we have Mr. Gottlieb for Key State Homes, which is the West 58th. We have Dan Duraco for West 33rd. And then we have Suzanne DeGennaro for her project on Tillman. I don't know who HELOU is. I don't know if they're here for a project or not.
Okay, let's start with the West 58.
God, friggin' mighty.
Oh, Madam Chair, the West 33rd Street, I believe that Dan was here before Suzanne, and that's 22019. It's in the order of the calendar, the agenda as well.
Okay, cool.
It looks like we have another user that just joined us. So.
Okay.
This is Kevin Robinette. I'm with Suzanne DeGennaro.
Okay.
We're beginning
Thank
with
you.
Maurice. The case that's on the screen is the case we're starting with, correct?
Correct, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. Today we're starting with calendar number 22-019. This is at 2062 West 33rd Street. Dan Duraco, sorry about the pronunciation, owner proposes to erect a 2-story single-family residence with an attached garage in a B1 2-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record. Of note is number 5, which states that section 34102, which states that the city planning approval is required before issuing of a permit.
Madam
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I just want to point out that Mr. Duraco actually has 2 cases that are related, but they are separate.
Okay, we'll do his next case after this one. All right, we need the oath, please, Ms. Brown.
Yes. Good morning. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply, I do. State your name and your address.
I do. Dan Duraco, 2189 Chatfield Drive, Cleveland Heights, Ohio.
Anyone else here for this case?
Just me on my end.
Okay, Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
For me?
No.
Thank you.
No.
No, that's to Ms. Kukla.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There has been no change in the zoning since 1929. In our Records Administration Office, I found that in 1911, a permit was issued to erect a two-story dwelling on the property. There were no variances on file on this address, and in the more recent history, we have in 2018, a permit was issued to demolish a two-story frame dwelling on site. And that's all that I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Is that me? I'm new to this, sorry. Do I need to, I'm Mary Cornelia, I'm replacing Lori Wagner, who was the former counsel. You
Yes,
just need me to.
welcome. Yes,
Thank
you
you.
need to read the legal standard out loud. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, appellant is requesting a use variance. To obtain the use variance, appellant must provide, oh, I'm sorry. No, wrong one. I was starting with the first one, I'm sorry. Appellant is requesting area variances from the off-street parking, the required rear yard, the yard encroachment, and the maximum gross floor area regulations of the zoning code. To
I
obtain
think
the
that's
area
a different
variance.
one too. We're doing 22-019.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. That's correct.
To
That is?
obtain,
Why is that not on the screen?
Oh, it is
okay,
for me.
I see it now. Yeah, okay, I got it. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
to obtain the area variances, the appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. Who will be the spokesperson? Mr. DeRico, is that you?
Yeah, that's me. So
Okay, go ahead with your case.
if we can go, okay, so we'll stick here with this plot plan here first. So I own the brick house that's in the back here, and I've redone that completely 3 years ago. Then I've had the land here, and I built these 3 townhomes. And the fronts are facing West 33rd, same as the house that was built in the 1800s, faces West 33rd. I sold one of these units, but I kept the other 2 for myself. So I also own this lot here, 2062 and 2074, and the city land bank owns the other 2 lots. And so I worked with Kerry McCormick and Matt Moss to try to create something that we can build on these lots, which we could, because on 2062 there was a house that was torn down. 2074 there was a house torn down. This lot used to be 25 feet wide when I bought it. I worked with the land bank to acquire 2 feet on each side. So now it's 29, almost 30 feet wide. And then we talked about putting an easement right of way off of Kuiper Court behind Planet Fitness so the drives can come in from behind. We have rear loading garages, so we don't have to have street cuts, or we don't have to, waste the street. We can still use it for parking. So what I was trying to do is create the easement here, which I've worked with. It's already through as a easement right away for utilities. That's all through the city right now. I'm just working with legal to file that right now. And now I'm trying to get the house 2062 and 2074. Planning has already looked at them. HDRS has approved them both. So now I have to come to BZA for the distance, the rear yard. It's supposed to be 25. I've actually got 22.9 feet here, and this one's 22.7. It's a little larger. So I'm looking for the variance for that, and also the square footage. And again, I'm probably going to keep these 2 homes, but I've been working on this project for about 4 years now. This front project about a year now I've been working. I didn't realize how long this would take, but we're getting to the end right now. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish here is, have the easement put in from back, which I've got that handled, and just basically the square footage, it needs to be this size to get a 3-bedroom for both of these homes.
All right, thank you. Is anyone from city planning, or is that you, Maurice?
This would be me today. Yes, I have to agree with everything that Mr. DeRico said. We worked very closely with him. Matt Moss did especially. Everything was approved through HDRS. We thought this was a very thoughtful design using the drive easement in the back. So we have no front-loaded garages. The street is fairly heavily parked for on-street parking, so it's great that we're not adding any additional curb cuts on West 33rd Street. These are all relatively minor variances, and we fully support the variance here.
All right, thank you.
Here.
Board, any questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I have no questions. I can go ahead with a motion if no one else has any comments. All right. Madam Chair, given the testimony of the appellant and the statement that he has been working diligently with city planning, city council, and the local area CDC. We like to see it when we don't have any interruptions with additional curb cuts, so accessing via the court back easement is an excellent opportunity to improve the situation. So with that, and in addition, the setbacks and side yard variances are pretty typical to what we see in this area. So with all that being said, I move that we go ahead and approve this variance.
Thank you. Minus 341.02.
Correct.
Second.
All right, we have a second from Ms. Barnes. Go ahead, call the roll, please.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes,
Yes.
Ms. Vape,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
And we are just talking about calendar 22-019, correct?
Correct.
That variance is granted. It'll be ratified when we next meet on April 25th. After that, we will send the applicant a letter.
All right, thank you.
Hello.
Okay.
When's his next?
Hello.
Moving on, we'll go to calendar number 22-034. This is the parcel at 2074 West 33rd Street. Same owner, Dan DeRico. Owner proposes to erect a two-story single-family residence with attached garage in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record. All the variances are similar to the previous case, in addition to number 4, which states that the City Planning Commission needs to approve before issuance of a permit. So with that, to Ms. Brown for the oath.
I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply, I do. State your name and your address.
I do. Dan DeRico, 2189 Chatfield Drive, Cleveland Heights, Ohio.
Anyone else for this case? Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. I didn't find any records for this specific address. I didn't find any variances on file and nothing of note in the more recent history. And that's all that I have.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Appellant is requesting area variances from the minimum lot width, minimum lot area, maximum gross floor area, independent yard, and off-street parking regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. DeRico.
Again, this, if we go back to the plot plan, yeah, okay. So this is the house in question here. It's basically the same everything I've spoken about. One other thing I'd like to add too, the reason too, we won't have curb cuts now also, but also it pushes these houses away from the front of these townhomes and the front of this building. So it gives a little buffer too. So that was another reason why, I wanted to have this access through the back. So basically, again, everything's the same as 2062. It's just 2074. There was a house there and it was torn down about, oh God, I don't know how many years ago. Was it 10 or 15 years ago? It was torn down, I'm guessing.
You might have to wait your turn and then they'll allow you to talk.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's how.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who that was. It keeps breaking in.
Calling user 5. If you're on your phone, please please mute yourself. Thank you. Until your case is called. Thank you. And of course, Madam Chair, we recommend approval for this development just as we did for the last one, for all the same reasons.
All righty. And for all the same reasons, I will call on my board for a motion, please.
And for all the same reasons, Madam Chair, I'm going to move that we go ahead and approve this variance. This is a thoughtful and intentional development, I think, that we're looking at. And Mr. Jureka has done a nice job in working with all the parties involved to bring this to fruition. So let's go ahead and approve this variance.
Thank you.
You can have a second.
Second, Ms. Barnes.
Second. Ms. Barnes with the second. Go ahead, call the roll, please.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes,
Yes.
Ms. Bates,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar 22-034 is granted. It'll be ratified on April 25th when we meet again, and we will send the applicant a letter.
Thank you all.
You're
Good
welcome.
luck.
We look forward to
Thank
seeing this
you.
come to life.
Thank you.
Madam
Have a great
Chair.
day.
Madam Chair, I believe that calling user may be our first applicant in regarding Dennison.
That's correct.
Want to go back to that one then? Or Madam Chair, how would you like to proceed?
Yeah, we can go to the first one. Yeah.
Okay, so back to the beginning, we'll go with calendar number 22-040. This is at 3512 Dennison Avenue. Clee Bargains LLC owner proposes to establish a tattoo shop in a C1 local retail business district. The owner appeals for relief from the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there are 2. And with that, to Ms. Brown for the oath.
Sure. I am swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply, I do. State your name and your address.
I do. Joseph Nieder, 3512 Dennison Avenue.
Anyone else for this case? Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This property was originally zoned general retail in 1929. 1981, it was changed to local retail business. In our records administration office, I found that in 1962, a permit was issued to erect a double-faced sign. The business at the time was identified as Brooklyn Bird Store. There are no variances on file and nothing of note in the more recent history. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Legal standard, please.
Appellant is requesting a use variance. To obtain a use variance, the appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship particular to the property, such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. Who's the spokesperson for Cleve Bargains?
Excuse me?
Who's going to be a spokesperson for this case?
I'm spokesperson, Joseph Meter.
Joseph? Okay, go ahead.
We've done a lot of work to the building, and you know, I think it'll bring a lot of light to the neighborhood, remodeling everything and getting some type of income to pay taxes and bring the area up in the upcoming area with the hospital project. And we'd really like the clearance to go ahead and get to work.
Okay, so you're putting a tattoo shop here, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And will your hours of operation be?
Hours of operation will be 10 a.m. till about 8 p.m.
What days?
Tuesday through Saturday.
Tuesday through Saturday.
All right, and then that's closed on Sunday and Monday, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anyone from city planning here, Maurice?
No, just myself. Madam
Okay.
Chair, we support the proposal. We think this is good to bring this building back to life, to have a functioning retail establishment here. And as we've said before, we are actually actively reviewing the code requirements and the distance buffers for tattoo shops that are very, very old and probably not relevant anymore. So for those reasons, we support the variance.
All right, do my board members have any questions?
Don't.
Madam Chair, I have no questions.
Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, relying on the testimony of city planning and the fact that the ordinances with regard to tattoo shops are, for lack of a better word, a bit antiquated these days. And this is an area that is ripe for revitalization. I move that we go ahead and approve this variance for calendar number 22-040.
Have a second, please. Ms. Barnes with the second. Go ahead, call the roll, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Ms. Bates?
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Calendar 22-040 is granted. It'll be ratified on April 25th when we meet again, and we will send the applicant a letter.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good luck.
All right, next case, 22-036.
All right. We have a bit of a bundle, a BOZA bundle. So calendar number 22-036. This is regarding 1983, 1987, 1991, and 1995 West 58th Place. OKO Townhomes LLC owner proposes to erect a 4-story single-family residence with attached garage on a 1,152 square foot lot located in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there are 3. With that,
Madam Chair, I just want to point out that I did bundle these together. However, they are different case numbers, which I didn't put on the screen. It's 36 37, 38, and 39, they all have identical variances, and so that's why I combined them. But for approval's sake, you'll have to make note of that for any motions. Thank you.
Thank you, Maurice.
You go to Ms. Brown for the swearing in.
Okay, I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do. State your name and your address. Are you, yes. Keystone, are you, Key State, excuse me.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry. It looked like we were having some connection problems for a minute there, so I apologize.
No problem. Did you hear the oath, or would you like it read again?
If you could please read it again, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, I will. No problem. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply, I do. State your name and your address.
I do. Andrew Gottlieb, 3187 Old Brainerd Road, Pepper Pike, Ohio, 44124.
Anyone else for this case? Or these cases? Thank you. Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the properties.
Oh, sorry, Madam Chair. Thank you. There's no change in the zoning since 1929. In the Records Administration Office, I only found for the specific address of 1995 West 58th Place that a permit was issued in 1979 to demolish a single-family residence. There are no variances on file for these addresses and nothing of note in the more recent history. Back to you.
You. Legal standard, please.
Helen is requesting area variances from the maximum gross floor area, minimum lot width, maximum building height, and minimum rear yard depth regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
You. Okay, Mr. Gottlieb, go ahead with your case. The case is, actually.
Yeah, so what you're looking at is this is a project called OCO. We've been working on it for several years, actually, in tandem with HDRS. Adam Davenport is the planner, and former councilman Matt Zone at that time, as well as Spencer and Councilwoman Spencer, and of course Detroit Shoreway Development Corporation. We had 9 units originally on this plot. It was approved through Planning Commission. When we went for BZA, we were told we might have some issues with some of the variances needed. So we are we redesigned and reassessed the site to now have 7 units instead of 9. We're gonna have to come back to BZA for the 3 front units, but those are going to be actual single family homes, and then the 4 that we're looking for variances today are townhomes. And the design of these townhomes are very similar to the ones that you guys have approved in the past. They're just smaller in size, but same facade pretty much. So we're utilizing the alley on here, and then we're going to have our own alley for the front units, which will be accessed through the rear. The townhome product.
Could you speak briefly on the variances you're asking for today?
Yeah, so we're looking for It's interesting because sometimes we've had these designs approved by the city of Cleveland before, and in the past we haven't had a need for the variance for the height, but this plans examiner did say that we should go for it anyways. In his opinion, it was a little bit different than usually we work with Rodney Wells. This was Marco Torres who reviewed it. So we are seeking a height variance, we're seeking a side setback variance, and then a lot variance. And the reason why we're doing that is because it fits within the site plan of what we were able to do on this site. Based on conversation with HDRS, Detroit Shoreway, the community, and the council members at the time.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else you want to say about this case? These cases, actually?
Not at this time.
All right. I thought I saw Adam Davenport sign on, but he needs to be sworn in.
Yeah, I do see Adam signed in. Adam, are you wishing to speak on this? Maybe not.
Maybe not. So does that mean it's you, Maurice?
It means it's me, yes. As Mr. Gottlieb has described, we have been working with him and his company for several years on this development. We think that the site plan has gotten much improved over the years, and this is probably, I think the reduction of the two houses makes it a little bit less dense and probably a little better because it was a very tight fit before. Oh, there's Adam. So maybe Adam can speak to this.
I'm sorry.
Does he?
I need to be sworn in. I had a council person phone call that interrupted this. Sorry.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Raise your hand, reply, I do, state your name and your address.
I do. Adam Davenport, City Planning, 601 Lakeside Avenue. Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry that I really enjoyed it for the last minute here.
It was just.
We just wanted the city planning, whether you approve or the case or not.
Yeah. Okay. So this project went through our design review process. It's over 5 units of housing, so it went actually to one of our local design review committees. Obviously, I'm sure Andrew gave you the history of it, but this has been a project long in the making. It was formerly city land bank land way back when, and through a couple tweaks with the site plan, I think we're in a better place to kind of reduce the number of variances that were requested, I think, over a year ago at this time, and kind of sort through the weird partial shapes over with Side Avenue and like West 58th Place, kind of an odd conglomeration of streets that make for a tough situation. So we're in support of the current site plan, and the design has also been reviewed by the local committee and approved by Planning Commission.
So it's been through Planning Commission and design review already?
Correct. Yes, it's been approved by both.
Okay. All right, board, any questions?
Not a question, but a comment. So on the case description, it references all four as single-family homes, not townhouses. I don't know if that matters, but for the record, he described them as townhouses.
Madam Chair, they are separate. There are single-family residences, and as you can see, maybe in these blown-up site plans, you can see that they are not connected.
Okay.
Thank you for blowing it up. It was hard to see.
Yeah, sorry about that. They're a townhouse product in the sense that they're a 3-story unit, but they are detached.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I just had a couple questions. One to Mr. Gottlieb. What is the height variance? You're going 3 stories?
Yeah, so we've gotten approval through BZA without the height variance for the same exact product, but we're doing. I think he wanted to just throw that in there, so we're at about we're 3 stories with the doghouse, just like any other townhome product.
Okay, great. And I think, Adam, you said that there was local, like a community group that approved as well? Is that right?
So any project, any new housing project like this that's over 5 units gets reviewed by the like the Far West Design Review Committee that's
right.
in this district. It's the Near West Design Review Committee in Matt Moss's district. So that's what I was referring to.
Right, that's what I thought. Okay, great. Just wanted to be clear. Okay, are there any other questions, Madam Chair, from the board? I guess not.
Doesn't seem like it.
All right. Madam Chair, given the testimony we've heard from both Mr. Rulins and Mr. Davenport today, and the explanation by Mr. Gottlieb, we know that this project is similar to others. I do think that this iteration is improvement. As Mr. Rulins stated, a little less density has made it a much more attractive development. And it has had review from all the necessary review bodies that that are required for this sort of project. So with that, I move that we go ahead and approve this variances on calendar number, let me read them off for you, 22-036, 037, 038, and 039.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
Second, Ms. Barnes.
Ms. Barnes with the second. Go ahead, call the roll, Ms. Kukla.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes,
Yes.
Ms. Vate,
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Calendar numbers 22-36 through 22-39 are granted. They will be ratified the next time we meet, which is April 25th, and then we will send the applicant a letter.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Look forward to seeing these up and constructed.
Thank you. We do too.
Yes, I'm sure.
Good luck.
Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you. So we're moving on, correct, Maurice, to calendar number 22-042. This is at 4618 Tillman Avenue. Suanne
DeGennaro.
DeGennaro, thank you. I was going to make you part of the DiGeronimo family there for a second.
That's been done before.
Yeah. That wouldn't be bad, right? You'd be in the concrete biz.
Right.
So
exactly.
You are the owner and you propose to erect a 3-story 2-family residence with attached garage in a B1 2-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record. Of note is number 5 that says City Planning Commission approval is required for all easements that are required and all easements require approvals from engineering and construction. And with that, to Ms. Brown for the oath.
Hey, I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, reply I do, state your name and your address.
I do. Suzanne DeGennaro, 4618 Tillman Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44102.
I do. Kevin Robinette, 2091 South Belvoir Boulevard, South Euclid, Ohio.
I do. Wissam Hilu, 4706 Tillman Avenue.
I do. Adam Davenport, City Planning, 601 Lakeside Avenue.
Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This property was originally zoned apartment house in 1929. It was changed to 2-family residential district in 1980. In our records room administration, I found that in 1961, a permit was issued to repair fire damage to a two-family dwelling on site. There are no variances on file in the more recent history. A permit was issued in 1996 to erect a 4-foot tall fence. And that's all that I have.
Thank you. History to legal standard, please.
Helen is requesting area variances from the maximum building height, the front yard setback, minimum interior side yard, and maximum gross floor area regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. Please note that section 329.04C1 may limit the board's ability to grant the requested front yard setback variance.
And Madam Chair,
There you
just
go.
as I know you like to have these dealt with,
Yeah.
I believe Ms. DeGennaro has already agreed to meet the setback variance, so we don't have any issues with this.
That's correct.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. Okay. All right. Ms. DeGennaro, are you going to speak for your case or someone else?
I will. I'll start, and then my architect Kevin is here as well. He can chime in as needed, I guess. If
Okay.
you could scroll to the elevation drawings, maybe we'll start there. I can give you a quick intro to the project, and then we can go to the site plan. So my proposal is to build a brownstone style 3-family house with a garden level apartment. And if you scroll down a little bit, you can sort of see the entrance for the garden level is under the main stairwell of the property. The garage is at the rear of the property. And if you scroll down a little bit, you kind of see it back there. There's a shared driveway with the house next door, and there is an easement plate in the deed. So that's just sort of an overview. And then if we can go to the site plan, I can speak a little bit more in more detail about the variances requested. So, and it's a little bit confusing, I apologize. There's a lot of drawing on this site plan, but if you go to the far right, we are looking at, yes, the house at the very end there. I am seeking an interior side yard setback where the code requires a minimum of 3 feet. I'm seeking a 0 lot line request. The property to the east is what's known as the billboard property. Some of you may be familiar with it. It is actually zoned recreation open space. There's a lease in place for the billboard for, I think, through 2035. And I did speak to the owners of the property, and they were generally in support of that 0 lot line setback. Regarding the front yard setback, Maurice mentioned that, I actually want to comply with, to match what is on the street, because I think that, creates a nice consistency. So no front yard setback needed. We are requesting also to exceed the gross floor area because the lot is rather narrow, and so bumping the house back a little bit gives us a little bit more space. It's 19 feet wide. The house on the lot that I share the driveway with is 20 feet wide, so not out of character. And then we're also seeking a
She froze up on us.
Kevin could correct me if I'm wrong. Whoops. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you went out for a
You're
minute,
having a little,
Susan.
yeah.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I was mentioned the height variance. So we're seeking a slight height variance, which we may or may not need, but I just would like to have the flexibility. And, Kevin, you can speak to that if I'm misstating something. And basically, I think that's it.
All right. It's the
Unless
height
anyone has
variance
any
is
questions.
probably due to your doghouse, correct? That will be up there. Might get a little taller.
There's not actually a doghouse. It's actually what you
Oh,
would
okay.
call a penthouse level. There's a full
Oh, okay.
stairway up to it with some enclosed space and then an open deck on the lake side. There you go.
Oh, I see. Okay. Gotcha. Very nice.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'm not sure if I have a copy of the easement here in the file. Generally, you would like to see it. Is that something that you would like to see this time as well, Madam Chair?
Yeah, we'll have to, if we don't have it now, we'll just make it part of the motion to make sure that we get that before we ratify.
I can get it to you ASAP. It's actually in the deed, so no problem.
All right. Kevin, did you need to add anything else?
You're speaking to me?
Yes.
Not really. I think it's fairly self-evident. Suzanne has expressed a desire for a home that takes on a townhouse appearance based upon the width of the site and the context that that creates, and then subsequently take advantage of the lake views that we'll be able to create on the north side. And the design reflects that.
All right. Mr. Helu, you signed up to speak?
Yeah, we are Suzanne's neighbors. We also support the design. It looks pretty cool.
Oh, kudos to come on and support a project. We don't get that too often. So good job.
Thank you, Sam.
Are you the neighbor with the shared drive?
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's a few doors down, but
Okay.
yeah, he's a few doors down in the greenhouse. I don't know if you could see on the aerial, or actually, I guess we didn't look in the bird's eye view, but yeah, that's Sam's house, right, with the white awnings.
All right. Adam Davenport.
All right, on time for this one. So we're in support of this new house project. Normally, we wouldn't be supportive of a variance for that side yard encroachment, but as Suzanne explained, that parcel is the billboard parcel. That billboard is not going away. There's a long-term lease on that. The parcel is also zoned open space recreation. So even if the billboard was demolished and did go away, there wouldn't be anything built on it in the future because of that zoning. So we're comfortable with that kind of with that variance in and of itself. And we're also happy that this project not only shares driveway, but also meets the garage code per our zoning regulations, which I think is pretty tough to do on this narrow lot. So kudos to Suzanne for working that out with the neighbor and creating a good project. Thank you.
Thank you. Board, any questions?
No questions, Madam Chair. I can move with a motion.
Yeah.
Okay. We really appreciate the succinct presentation by the appellant with support by her architect. Thank you for that, for filling us in. Thank you to Mr. Davenport for explaining the stance from city planning. The understanding is that the zero side yard setback is an acceptable situation given the fact that the adjacent parcel is zoned recreation and that there is a billboard there with a long-term lease. We will require a copy of that easement to be submitted to us as part of the motion today. We also appreciate that they're using the existing curb cut and sharing the driveway with the neighbor, and that you've we really appreciate that you've made changes so that we don't have to worry about that front yard setback. That's always a sticky point for us. So with all that in mind, Madam Chair, I move that we go ahead and approve this motion, this variance for calendar number 22-042.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second, Ms. Barnes.
Ms. Barnes with the second. Go ahead, call the roll, please, Ms. Kukla.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Barnes,
Yes.
Ms. Vape,
Yes.
Ms. Brett.
Yes.
Calendar 22-042 is granted. It'll be ratified on April 25th when we meet again, and we will send the applicant a letter.
All right. Good luck,
Thank you very
Suzanne.
much.
Good job.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you.
Good luck, Suzanne.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Very nice looking project. We look forward to seeing it up and built.
I'll invite everyone over when it's done.
Great.
Thank you so much.
All right. Get my email from Liz. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right.
We're available on the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah. Great views from
That's
there.
a good plan.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like we're moving on to old business, right, Maurice?
Old business. Old business.
Looks like we're done, yeah.
All right. Old business 1 through 4 without objection, board.
Without objection.
Without objection.
Without objection.
Will we have Knez here? Liz?
No, this is just notifying you that the neighbors in that case, 21-192, has appealed to the Court of Common Pleas.
Okay.
I believe the
All right.
applicant, it has been notified by those neighbors. I believe it's a requirement for them to notify them. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it. Meeting adjourned.
Okay.
And I'll see everyone on the 25th.
So we're not meeting next week. Okay.
That's correct.
I didn't
next
realize
week.
that.
I'll
Dingus Day.
send an email on Friday so we don't forget.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Write it down.
Thank
Right
you.
now. Yes.
As
Yes.
much as I love getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready.
All right. I'll do my best to make sure it doesn't happen again. All right. Enjoy the rest of your week,
All
guys.
right.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good week.
Mhm.